All right. Hi, everyone. So this is ELISA Card. And today, as promised, we are here with Guy Golan, who's a life and relationship coach from the United States. And so we are broadcasting, I'm broadcasting from Paris, France. And so we are very happy to be with you today. And we have a great topic, which is unhappy marriages. Should we divorce or not? That would be our topic for today. So let's first let Guy, is there something you would like to
Yeah, hi,
say?
how you doing? Yeah,
I'm
thanks
doing great.
yeah, perfect. Thank you for having me today. It's a great topic, and I'm a big fan of yours. I follow your posts on Facebook all the time. Great stuff. So it's great to connect here and have this awesome conversation.
Thank you. Actually, I do follow you too, and you have great stuff. Absolutely. Yes. And I recommend everyone, to follow what you do. All right. So actually, I was thinking about what could be the causes of unhappy marriages. And I read something, long time ago, talking, of course, there was Mars and Venus and this kind of stuff, but I've listened to a spiritual leader from India who were saying that actually a man and a woman, they are two different human beings, if we look at it that way. And of course, when they are born, they are free. And there's Western cultures and also Eastern cultures, which make marriage not mandatory, but it's a sort of a clean way, organized way to have our humanity going, because we have to have a family and babies, and they will be human beings on our planet and so on. So this is a way to see it. That's why we have to, we get married actually, because we have that sort of rush of hormones when we are young and we want to get married. So what could be the cause of unhappy marriages is that as we are two different human beings, we have different needs, and we have also a different way of handling, the everyday situations. And so, of course, don't you agree?
Well, this is a big topic. It's a great topic. It's a big question, and we can't oversimplify it, right? So the real question you're raising, in a way, is that marriages for many years were a way that society organized families, took care of the children and the financial part of it, and really short for personal security. Nowadays, the question arises, is marriage still as relevant as it was, let's say 50, 100 years ago? We see several things happening. We see very high divorce rates in many parts of the world, ranging anywhere from 20 to 45%. And we also know that there are a lot of people who are unhappy in their own marriage. So what are the root causes for the modern crisis in marriage? I think that's the conversation we're really having today. And you're pointing to one of the hypotheses, which is gender difference, right?
Yes.
Of course, that may not explain the whole picture, since there are a lot of wonderful, happy marriages out there between men and women, right? So let's talk about some of the other potential explanations.
Well, actually, there could be, when people are young, they don't know themselves, and they will grow together. They have to amplify their, their virtues or their qualities. And of course, there's distortion, because when they meet, there's love. That's the main thing, there's love. So what happens to that love along the way? So people are growing together, but sometimes apart from each other. And so the cause is communication. It could start with communication. And there's also some other virtue that we learn. It's respect of each other, of the other one, because there's giving and taking. So it's,
So you're touching on 4 different topics in one sentence,
absolutely.
Which is amazing. You're talking about people getting married because of love, which is
there's always love first.
We're taught that is a good reason to get married, and it's actually a very bad reason to get married. The second way is self-awareness, which is almost a requirement in successful relationships of any kind, right? The ability to be self-aware. The third is mutual respect and benefit. And the fourth one is mutual growth and compassion. So
yes, absolutely. Oh, hello?
The men and all the women who are in a marriage right now who are completely unhappy. Sometimes it's a function of people growing apart, over time, and sometimes the person just married the wrong person, right? And there are many, many other reasons, right? So let's talk about that situation, and that is when somebody is in an unhappy marriage, what should they think about and what should they consider?
Well, I think the first way, as you talked about awareness is very important, and there's value that they have to grow together. While growing together, they have within themselves first grow patience. Patience is so important to learn to know the other one, and patience in everything, because what drama is good? I mean, what drama would be good for? I don't know if my sentence is good, but so patience is one major requirement in a marriage, I think, from both people in order to communicate, listen to each other, and understand each other. And also there's kindness. I mean, there's several virtues, and we could talk about them, during this conversation. But kindness also is very important to.
These are great points. So patience, kindness, compromise. These are all secrets. The secret sauce to a wonderful marriage. However, there are a lot of people who are past that point when the friendship broke apart. And that's when we lose patience. That's when we lose kindness often. That's when we are not as willing to compromise as we were before, right? There is often a breach of trust. There is a breach in the friendship, right? And at that point, how does one go about repairing or mending the relationship?
Well, that's a good question. And, everything is based, because I've known or I've talked to people about that. Everything is based about the behavior of the other one and your own behavior. But when there's a break of trust, you have to force yourself, whoever has been cheated on has to force themselves to, of course, discuss the situation first. Once it's all talked and cleaned, then start with trust. But in order to really grow that trust again, it's to look at the behavior of the person and not be constantly questioning. And that's why I talked about patience, because you have to have patience in you cannot always question the other one and make the other one feel like trapped, and because there's a sense of freedom that you have to give the other person and look at the behavior. I would tell women, look at the behavior, and even if there's some little ups and downs, the main question, and I asked myself, because I'm a woman, And sometimes I thought, what's going on? But I thought, you know, the main thing is who is traveling with you, who is going to the restaurant with you, who is in the evening with you, or who is going in the vacation with you. It's this man. So if his behavior, general behavior, is kindness and how would you say, thoughtfulness and generosity, well, don't go dig, you know, deep. Don't go deeper. I mean, you know, because this man is probably behaving really right, and don't create anything. And then the mind. I mean, we will not talk about the mind, but the mind is very important here.
The mind is everything, correct? I mean, and look, I mean, go ahead. You want to say more?
Just self-control. I wanted to say, just, you know, step back. I give always this advice to my clients, whatever the situation, when there's a big, deep situation, just step back and scan the situation. Scan the situation. Look at it. And then, you know, just have self-control and patience, and look at the behavior and be a giver, because it depends if people want to continue growing the relationship, or if there's too much drama and it's becoming so difficult that they want to, you know, live apart.
Absolutely. And look, marriage is very complex. It's not, I mean,
Yes.
even good marriages are complex, right?
Yes.
So ultimately, there is no one single strategy to make marriage works. What we do know is that those people who find themselves in unhappy marriages should not be passive about their situation, but rather should be proactive. How can one become proactive? One should become proactive by facilitating communication with their partner,
Absolutely.
by being self-aware of their own role within the marriage, and by trying to understand why they are in the marriage in the first place. So one of the interesting things about why people stay in so-called bad marriages is there are going to be several factors, right? Children, number one,
Yeah.
right? Financial consideration, number two. A lack of sense of self, number three. And the fear of change. So a lot of people would rather stay in a bad relationship than to explore the unknown. A very interesting human psychology, but that's the way we're wired in a way. So this is where I think coaches, relationship coaches, life coaches can really contribute to clients, and in helping them sort out all the different considerations, keeping them in the marriage or limiting their success in the marriage, and using the basic tools of coaching to empower their lives.
Yes, absolutely. And so the couple or the women who have right now a difficult marriage should ask themselves this question that you said. This is very important to realize, or to ask themselves why they are in this marriage in the first place. And this is something that I help because it's an overall question. It's a main question. It's a start point, but also it's an overall question about their own life, who they are, what they want to live, how they want to live their life, and where they want to go. And
so let me take this chance and ask you, what are you working on these days? What programs are you working on these days?
well, right now, I'm working on this weekend in particular. I'm hosting an event in Paris, which is really on that topic, that not on marriages, but on growing yourself, being more aware, using your mindset, a specific mindset, and your potential to know yourself better, and to realize who you really are, and how do you want to live, and where do you want to go. So actually it's developing, amplifying your true self. And then I'm working on a e-course that will be available very soon in June, also for everyone worldwide. And what about you?
Make sure to share it with everybody. I'm about to open a group coaching program in June, July for specifically women who are in unhappy marriages. And what we're going to do is we're going to work in the group dynamic on coping strategies, strategies in the long run of what to do within the marriage, and if somebody's thinking about exiting, how to go about doing so in a successful manner. So I do both one-on-one coaching and group coaching. That's what I'm working on these days.
Great. Wow, that's fantastic. I will make sure I send you, you know, some potential clients who may need your help, because it's very, very important to have a coach supporting you in that kind of situation. Absolutely.
Very kind. So let's wrap up with, how can people get in touch with you outside of Facebook if they want to learn more about what you do?
Absolutely. So I have a blog website that is available. It's elisacard.com. And also I have, how do you say, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's also ELISA Card videos.
So Instagram, YouTube, blog, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You are a social media star. I love it. All right, good. I'm on those, on many of the same channels, and my website is imagineyou.info. And I also host the Life Reimagined Facebook group if anybody wants to check it out. It's all about supporting positive change in life.
Yes. Oh, wow. That sounds great. Well, I've watched it sometimes. Well, thank you so much, Guy. It was really nice talking with you today. And we touch base, you know, regularly.
Very
Thank
good.
you so much.
Let's do another video soon. Have a great day.
You too. Have a great day.